right. That's right. 103.7 The Fox. Here we are with Rest Insured with Dave Bernhardt from Mason City All Risk Insurance. You can see all the information right there and below us and how to get a hold of them. Dave and I, we've been talking about the Bezos missile, the whatever that blue thing, the Blue Shepherd or something like that. Whatever it's called. We were just talking about how if he was insured and all that. I'm sure when you're a billionaire, I think you probably take out a lot of policies. I would think.
Back to the risk management, Harry. There are some people that actually have enough money. They manage their own risk. I talked to a farmer back in last year. Remember we had the derecho?
Yeah.
And, the guy calls me up and says, well, how come my neighbor's out there 2 days after the storm and he's destroying his crop? He said, my adjuster haven't even showed up or called yet. I said, would you do me a favor? Run over there and talk to him tonight and see how come he's out there destroying his crop so early, you know, without basically anybody giving him the green light.
Right.
And you know what the answer was when he went over there the next morning? He talks to us.
No, what?
I don't have any effing insurance. I can do whatever I want. Okay.
Well, there you go. Why not?
Sorry we ask.
Jeez, you're trying to do the guy a solid, and then this is how he reacts.
There are a few people like that are able to financially manage their own risk.
That's right.
And I think our old buddy Jeff Bezos is probably one of those.
Yeah. But boy, what an exciting thing, though. Like I said, we were talking before we went on live here, just talking about how cool it is, how efficient and how, I don't know, tiny.
Yes.
It just didn't look like the huge setup they usually have. They
didn't even have an elevator to get up to the capsule. They walked up the stairs.
They walked up the stairs and into the capsule. Exactly.
I know I'm not going on one of those rides. I'd have died on the first set of steps. So.
I'll guarantee you that's probably better than a roller coaster ride.
There you go.
That's right. So it was an 11-minute roller coaster ride.
Awesome. But it was.
We're used to 3 minutes out of the amusement parks. So.
But it went off as advertised, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. Sure did. And how that main part, the rocket part, just went back down and landed, and we didn't waste anything.
They even had a target for it to land on. It almost landed dead center.
I know it.
Wow.
Well, speaking of that, you guys are pretty dead center on your insurance. And auto insurance, obviously, is probably one of the biggest things that you do, but you can insure about anything.
Yes, sir. We've done many, many different things. But the thing I noticed and I picked up the other day on one of these bulletins that came across, you go get a car, you buy it, you drive it off the lot. Mm-hmm. It said in the article, and I can relate to this, the first year, you're probably going to lose 20% in value on that car, especially if it's new.
Yeah.
And wow. So you got an insurance policy, and you're saying, well, I took a loan on this car. All of a sudden you have an accident.
Yeah.
And then they want to discount what they pay you because of the decreased value on your car.
Right.
You want to talk to your agent about that a little bit. There's a terminology that you can use or put in there when you talk to your agent. If you have a lender that has a mortgage on your car, and make sure if something bad happens that you get the money you need to take care of that lender, okay? Even though your car has decreased in value. So there's a couple little things to be done there. I had the top secret word here, what that's called, but I can't find it in my pile of papers right now. But I just want to make people aware, it's just like we talked homeowners last week, buildings, whatever. Yeah. Times are different right now. Things cost a lot more.
Yeah.
So just make sure you ask questions, especially with this auto thing. You drive one off the lot, and you say, wow, a $30,000, $40,000 vehicle. And a little while later, you can't drive it back on the lot and get your $30,000, $40,000 back. It's going to be significantly diminished or decreased.
Yeah.
Well, then what happens in an accident? Guess what? They're not give you a check, and you're saying, wow, I still got $25,000 borrowed against it, and you're only going to give me $20,000?
Yeah.
So ask the agent questions about that and see how it can be taken care of, because there are tools and ways to do that when you have a loan or when you want to insure stuff to a higher value. Now, I know from classic cars, like a classic car, like a Chevelle or something, there is a insurance company. You specify the value, okay, what that car is. They want you to take a lot of pictures and document it inside, outside, and make sure it's as quote unquote fancy as you claim it is.
Mm-hmm.
And just document it. And if you say you want to insure that baby for 40 grand, and you get in an accident, it is covered for 40 grand, no reduction.
All right.
Couple things on classic cars, the companies, they know you don't drive them near as much, like your daily driver, okay? So they're thinking, okay, I can give you a little reduced premium on that. And the other thing, they know you take super care of those things,
Mm-hmm.
You don't let the mother-in-law scratch them with her purse or nothing, man. You take care of those babies.
Right.
So they give you some good credit for that.
Let me ask you something too. Speaking of that, do you do insurance companies, do they dive into your, still where, whether you smoke or not, whether you they look at your driving record, obviously, but also, do they look into like your credit report or anything like that? Yeah, all that stuff. Does that all have a play on your policy? Yeah.
The common or the simple answer to that is, when you do an application for an auto policy, that's why they want your name, rank, and serial number. That's why they want your social security number, okay, and your address and all that fun stuff, because they're going to put that in the computer and throw it in there with a specific company, and they're going to do some checking.
All right.
Your driving record, like you said, your credit score, all that stuff. And the other thing too, age is based a lot on it. We had a lady come in here, believe it or not, she had never, ever driven a car, and she was 30 years old.
What?
She went and got her driver's license.
Wow.
She was back in New York, where they ride around on a bus or they use all that.
Sure. Yeah.
Public transportation.
Yep.
She didn't have a need for one.
Yeah.
She's out here in the Midwest, and she comes in and she went to the training, got her license, went and bought a car, come in for some insurance. She's a first timer, okay? She about fell off the chair when she heard how much she had to pay for insurance.
Yeah.
I'm clean. I got a perfect driving record. I got a fantastic credit score, but she has no experience.
None.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a way of looking up, they being insurance companies, of looking at all that stuff. We just are a facilitator. We gather the information and pass it on.
Sure.
But we don't make that call in the house here, We'd like to give everybody, a really, really good deal, and that, but the companies call the shots.
On a personal note, David, would you, if you lived in Chicago or New York, not Minneapolis, I'm talking like major metro.
Yes.
Would you actually drive around, or would you take the transportation, the city transportation, like subway, bus?
If I could learn how to navigate it, I'd probably do the public transportation. Number one, you have to find a place to store your vehicle. If you're downtown in an apartment or something, parking on the street, not a good thing. Not a good thing.
15, $20 for 2 hours. Yeah.
Renting
coins, put in pennies and stuff. But
renting garage space, not a good thing. Okay. Only if you lived out in the suburbs in a home or something, you had all that kind of stuff. But you think about it, you're managing risk.
Oh, yeah.
Your nice car is sitting out there in the street.
Right.
I'm not talking people. I'm talking pigeons. I'm talking everybody is going to target your car. Okay. And then maybe they want to stop by and borrow it and take it for a ride.
That reminds me, speaking of birds, we have those bird transportation things around, those little scooters around town now.
I see those.
Yeah. Yeah, I take it, and it's one of those where you just, I don't know, you use your phone, you basically use a QR code, and then it automatically takes money out of your account or whatever to use it. And, I wonder what's the insurance on all that stuff? I suppose you're paying for that probably right when you do it, right?
I hope the vendor that has those
has
taken some precautions to do something like that.
Right.
So I thought somebody's giving them away. I have 3 of them thrown in the back of my truck right now.
You know what? Yeah.
I wonder what that beeper was on them. I didn't know what they were for.
And they're going to come knocking on your door and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, Mr. Bernhardt, you got 4 of these." And
Where? Well, they're in the back of your truck.
back of your truck, they know exactly what you're doing.
Get out your credit card. Yours for 6 weeks where you had them there.
Exactly.
No, I just actually seen them this morning right down here by the school, and I'm like, that's pretty cool idea. So
That is a great idea.
Yeah. Okay, you got it all electronic.
And I've seen
Let you go.
I've seen some guys in suits and ties using them around town. So
wow,
they are being used. Next thing you know, you and I will be doing that. You know.
How do knee pads and suit and tie go together?
I don't know, but it does. Dave, thanks so much for the time today. We always learn a little bit, and that's why we do these things a couple of times a month. We'll be back here in August. August 2nd will be our next round here, Dave. But don't forget to check out Mason City All Risk. They're on Facebook, 1415 South Monroe with that big yellow sign, or you can give them a call here at 423-8785. So, Dave, have a good couple of weeks. We'll talk again.
Absolutely. Thanks for rousting me out and digging me out of the paperwork. Okay.
You got it. All
right, folks.